I'm Michael Hitchborn, and you're watching the American Life League Report. Last October, American Life League joined the coalition Reform CCHD Now after numerous reports revealed that the Catholic Campaign for Human Development was funding organizations promoting abortion and same-sex marriage rights. Since joining the coalition, we've profiled 15 CCHD-funded groups actively supporting these policies, and another 31 partnered with the pro-abortion and pro-same-sex marriage Center for Community Change. These reports were made available to the CCHD director as recently as December, and not a single one of our concerns has been addressed. In fact, aside from defunding 2 groups in November, CCHD officials have done nothing but dismiss the facts, twist our message, and cry political foul. Last October, Bishop Morin, who is chairman of the U.S. Bishops' Conference subcommittee assigned to overseeing the CCHD, released a memo that claimed to have resolved any errant funding. After we discovered even more grantees involved in promoting abortion, birth control, and so forth, Bishop Morin told his brother bishops in a meeting in November that our claims were outrageous and untrue. So, as the pattern goes, deny the allegations and ignore the facts. Just before the November 22nd collection, the CCHD produced a fact sheet it titled, "For the Record, the Truth About CCHD Funding." This document loosely touched upon some of our concerns but provided no concrete answers. But most troubling of all was its full support for the Los Angeles Community Action Network and the San Francisco Organizing Project, both of which are indisputably involved in promoting abortion and birth control. In January, we released a report that detailed how the San Francisco Organizing Project helped to create and promote healthcare legislation that funds abortion and birth control. Even though we sent the information to the Archdiocese of San Francisco and the CCHD, both continued to remain silent. Now this brings us to the big report we released on February the 1st. The Reform CCHD Coalition revealed an intimate relationship between the CCHD and the Center for Community Change. The Center for Community Change has been engaged in the promotion of same-sex marriage since 2004, when it hired Sally Kohn, former employee of the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force, to run its Movement Vision project. It should be noted that this project also advocates abortion rights and reproductive freedom. In our report, we illustrated the fact that 2 USCCB executives served at different times on the board of the Center for Community Change while they were working for the USCCB. The executive, who now oversees the CCHD, was on the board of the Center for Community Change from 1996 to 2005. When he left that board in 2005, his assistant director for the CCHD took that spot on the board, and he's still there. Even though the assistant director left the CCHD in 2008 to join Obama's Catholic Advisory Council, he is still listed on the Bishops' Conference website as a consultant for the CCHD. It should be noted that even though the current CCHD director was informed of last November's report exposing the Center for Community Change's advocacy of abortion and same-sex marriage, the CCHD's website continued to endorse the Center for Community Change as worthy of support. But 2 strange things happened after the release of our February 1st report. 6 hours after the report was released, the CCHD quietly erased its endorsement of the Center for Community Change. And 12 hours after that, the CCC severed all ties with the Movement Vision project. Now, an honest Catholic working for the U.S. bishops and seeking to uphold church teaching and defend the Bride of Christ would be horrified to learn that money he was responsible for was going to organizations working against the church. Instead, CCHD execs took our information and reduced it to an insult on the executive director's character while completely ignoring the facts. And even though the executive director adamantly refused to meet with anyone from American Life League or Human Life International on several occasions, he claims we never tried to contact him. Well, we recently attempted to arrange another meeting with him, but he refused that one as well because he was too busy preparing for the social ministry gathering scheduled to take place that weekend. So just when you think it can't possibly get any worse, it does. The social ministry gathering, which took place from February 6th through 10th, was a forum for about 400 Catholics brought together to discuss Global and domestic issues on human life and dignity and justice and peace that challenge our society and our world. How nice. The sad irony here is that while the CCHD is busy denying that it funds organizations promoting abortion or same-sex marriage, it gathers individuals and groups who do promote abortion and same-sex marriage to speak to a Catholic audience. Father Thomas Reese. He was forced to resign as editor of America magazine by the Vatican because he wouldn't stop publishing articles challenging the Church's firm position on contraception, embryonic stem cell research, same-sex marriage, homosexual priests, mandatory clerical celibacy, and whether Catholic politicians who support abortion should be given communion. Dr. Diana Hayes, professor of systematic theology at Georgetown University and noted speaker for Call to Action, the Catholic dissident group. Hayes is a homosexuality activist who calls for women's ordination, promotes same-sex marriage, and wrote a book espousing liberation theology. And Paul Booth. He and his wife have served as host committee members for the National Organization for Women's Intrepid Awards Gala, and interestingly enough, his wife is on the board of, you guessed it, the Center for Community Change. Booth was scheduled to sit on a panel with the same USCCB executive who claims he doesn't know what's going on. The problem is systemic. With such willingness to compromise principle and seek common ground with groups and people who fight for abortion and same-sex marriage, is it any wonder why Catholic conferences continue to oppose legislation that would recognize the personhood of preborn babies? Something has got to give. Go to Reform CCHD now and sign the petition. If we're ever going to recognize the culture of life in this country, it has got to start with the Catholic Church. For American Life League, I'm Michael Hitchborn.